How high? How high? How high are you? How high am I? Hey, welcome. This is the Casual Fan. I titled this the Wrestling Wrap Up, where we just talk about all the stuff that we see going on in wrestling during the week. Well, the stuff we see and the stuff we hear, because sometimes we just don't bother seeing it because
I have zero interest in tuning into anything AEW related.
can't allow ourselves to go that low. You know what I mean? Like I see a lot of people, they're fine with going for the least. You know what I mean? Like it's
I
like
actually don't mind the YouTube ones that they do, the dark AEW dark.
well,
I don't
never
mind
watched
that.
those.
I've watched it before. It's not bad. Other than that,
No, still, I won't. But yeah, but there's been a few things going on in WWE world. Actually, before we get into that, Trace wasn't here last week, so he doesn't actually know that he did win the predictions. So you don't have to give the belt to anybody. You could actually show it now. You don't have to carry it for people anymore. You don't have to be that guy to carry it anymore.
I was so certain that when you were dropping by, that I had to give away the belt. So I just sanitized it, made sure it was all right, and I was just
And cleaned up the belt and then realized it was just for himself. Yeah. No, like, but that pay per view was all over the place though. Like,
it didn't sound good at all.
You know what I mean? Like my choice to win the match, like Bobby the triple threat, Bobby Lashley, Riddle, and Keith Lee. Keith Lee all of a sudden is injured. And then he gets replaced by John Morrison. So as soon as you saw that, you're like, oh, well, John Morrison's taking the pin, obviously. So then, yeah, your pick of Riddle won. Then there wasn't a women's match. What else is there? No, there wasn't a women's match. Then the first elimination chamber, you picked Daniel Bryan, and he did win. And then Roman Reigns, we all picked Roman, obviously. We all picked Drew. And then I think and then the tag team match. I believe there was a tag team between Bianca and Sasha.
Yeah.
Versus Nia, and yeah. So I think we all got that one right too. But yeah, you got most of them right. So yes, you are the new winner. Let's see how long you can hold this belt for.
It's inevitable.
We'll see. Fastlane.
I might just be a transitional champion.
You see it? Talking about transitional champions. Did you watch Monday Night Raw? Did you see Bobby Lashley finally win his heavyweight title belt?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that Kofi won that belt. I kept thinking he won the Universal Championship. I don't know why.
Me too.
Because when Lashley won, I was like, Lashley actually is my true first black champion. And then I saw the Kofi, and I was like, oh, well then, Kofi, yeah. The Rock is like, it's kind of like Barack Obama. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Barack was like, black, but you're not all the way there yet.
But well, yeah. I mean, if you doubt his story, you can always watch Young Rock.
I know. Where he hung out with everybody he knew. Did you actually watch any of those, the Young Rocks?
Haven't watched any yet, but I will.
Oh, okay. That was the first episode. It jumps from like Kid Rock, not Kid Rock, like Kid Rock, Teen Rock, and then like senior of high school rock type thing. So I don't know. And then the storyline is like it's 2032 and he's running for president, and he's being interviewed by Randall Parks. So Agent Woo, Jimmy Woo, he's the one. That's pretty much it. Like it's just The Rock being Rock, and Guy comes in, no, you can't tell that story. Oh, I have to tell that story. The people have to know what type of person I am. I'm just like, this feels like this is an IG story, or like just The Rock talking with like clips of like his past within it. But
you know who said they're like that?
who?
Terry Crews. He said he just likes to watch himself on TV. Like he'll go home when he has free time, and he'll just like watch like whatever he's on.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm not like that with like the same way with my music. I'm not the same way with my music videos. I don't go back and go, I want to watch this. Not really.
Revisit none of them.
Not really. Like I do sometimes, but not going on my way to like. No, that's interesting. Interesting. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh.
Especially with all the video work you do.
Exactly. But yeah. So, how did you feel? What did you think of Bobby Lashley winning?
It works. I mean, like, who else? At this point, it's like, who else?
But did you think he'd win this early?
I was hoping whatever happened would happen and it'd be clean, because let's not do a triple threat at Mania.
Right. But who'd the triple threat be with? What, him, Drew, and The Miz? The Miz wouldn't do the. Well, if he has the belt, yeah, they could triple threat it. If he had the belt.
Yeah, because I was like,
if he just had the Money in the Bank, not really.
I was like, they're gonna weasel him out of here somehow. Like the way that they did it the whole night, I was like, I'm waiting for the big weasel out.
Yeah. No, as soon as I saw it was a lumberjack match, I was like, yeah, okay, Bobby's winning. Mm-hmm. And not because it was a lumberjack match, it was because you knew Vince sent all the people there to like give him this moment. You know what I mean? Like everybody to experience this moment with Bobby, give him a crowd in some way.
But at the same time, it's weird because does that make him a face?
No, because he's gonna body everybody again. Like don't misconstrue my win. Understand? It was all good, and now I'm champion. But okay, now that he's champion. No, before we get into that, how do you like how they used the Miz? Because when they first gave him the like Money in the Bank, everybody was like, "What? Like, this is weird. Like, why did you take it from Otis? Why give it to the Miz?" And then Miz cashed it in, and then he got it back, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? Why has he got it back? Like, this is making no sense. Like, this is stupid." And
yeah,
it
did all that.
Played into this.
Yeah, you did all that, and he was a champion for like a week.
But it was. You think that was their plan? Like that it was gonna go into Bobby, or like usual, they're just running off the seat of the pants? Like,
here's what none of us are saying. What does this do for Otis?
Nobody's worried about Otis. Otis is over there with Chad Gable. The question everybody should be asking is, what does this do for Tucker? Tucker turned on Otis to side with the Miz, and the Miz didn't even give him no love, no blind, no nothing. He was a jobber the next week, which was crazy. It was like he didn't even have his name on his pants. Like, didn't even give him an entrance. It was like they couldn't wait to get rid of him.
Like one of the greatest poets of our time says, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Never forget the bottom when you're at the top.
But yeah. So what do you think of the matchup between Drew and Bobby?
I like it.
Was there any other way you wanted it to go? Any other person you saw the matchup it should have been?
Who else? What else? What other scenario could you spin for Mania?
No, I guess they'd have to bring in like maybe Triple H.
Oh.
Randy Orton, maybe.
I didn't want to see Triple. I hated the fact that they teased Orton and Triple H a few weeks ago. I hated that. Like it made my blood boil. I was like, please tell me they're gonna swerve on this.
Yeah.
Like while the promo's going on, I'm like, please tell me somebody's coming out.
Nope. Well, yeah. Who else would there be? Sheamus, Keith
You're
Lee.
not doing Strowman.
Well, obviously not Strowman, but Strowman should be on that list. AJ Styles. I don't know. Probably AJ Styles is probably like the closest one.
I like
'Cause
Styles,
he's
but
the
I
heel.
don't think they would look at that as a bigger match than Drew and Lashley.
You know, Styles is always going to get you something. You know, people are going to tune in when it's Styles. But maybe, what do you mean? Lashley versus AJ. Seeing he has the title now.
But again, I don't understand. I don't understand why they keep like toying with the idea of these guys being faces. The Hurt Business should never be faces.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't, but I don't think they're. I think it just for that moment they give it to Bobby. Like Bobby looked like he was gonna cry. I was like, Bobby, don't do it. You're supposed to be a heel. Don't you start crying.
Turn into Bianca.
Sobbing. Bianca was sobbing. Like I was just like, come on, Bianca, you can't even talk. Like you gotta find a way to hold. I understand. You wait till you go into the back, do your thing. When you're out there, if you gotta like, I don't know, whatever you gotta do, don't be sobbing. Like you look like a little kid getting in trouble. I just want to say that. Like, nah, man, you don't want to. That's when your mother says, "I'll give you something to cry about." Like, that's what Vince should have said. Take this Rumble match away from you. I'll give you something to cry about. Like, what are you out there crying for?
They need to keep them strong as heels. That's the only thing I didn't like about the whole lumberjack, because they're like hoisting him up. It's like
I think
that should have been the moment. That should have been the moment when he goes super heel and he takes the belt and he kind of nudges his way through the crowd, like.
But that's why they kept what's it called, ragdolling the Miz over and over and over again. Because that's not a.
But they were cheering.
To do. They were, but they were cheering because it's Bobby and it's because it's the Miz. You know what I mean? You could also play it off like they're just happy because the Miz is so annoying. Like everybody's just happy because it's the Miz is annoying. But in the end, which one of you guys are gonna want to go up against Bobby Lashley now? Like that's like to me, I'm like right now they have like the best like champions on both sides right now. Between Roman on one side, Drew on the other, not Drew, but Bobby on the other side. Those are like the two biggest, like they will gain you the most attention right now.
Yeah,
Bobby Lashley off of his MMA shit, the way he looks, like just the way he looks, you're not gonna deny it. Like you're not gonna be look at Bobby Lashley and be like, I can kick his ass. I can. You know what I mean? He has the realism to him because he does the shit. And then you have Roman on the other side, where his storyline, playing the head of the table, is just killing everything. Everything.
He gets better every week.
It's easy, like, and you can see just more and more and more and more comfortable into it. It's like
it's a shame it took this long. And not in the sense of he wasn't capable, but that you gave him the reins to do it.
This guy. But at the same time, maybe it's this downtime that gave him that chance to be able to write it. You know what I mean? Because if it was before, where they're doing like 4 shows a week, you know, you're not really thinking of like, you know.
I mean, to give him the space to be the heel. They were pushing him to be the superhero for so long.
Yeah. Well, what kind of heel would have he been? Like, he
I'm
wouldn't
just
have been
saying.
this.
I'm just.
He would have been this heel. You know what I mean? Like the guy he is now. I think the weight was like it was good for this. You know what I mean? Like to be this heel, it was worth the wait compared to if he became a heel before. Even though everybody wanted him to be a heel, he might have not have been of like a full-fledged heel. He might have just been like angry man, like Braun Strowman type heel. Like I'm just gonna fight everybody because I'm mad, type shit. And now he actually has like a real story, and the way it played out with Jey Uso, just the way it all played out, like the other brother is injured, so he can't come. You know what I mean? Like everything played out right for them.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. If it was before, his feuds would be against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They'd be good feuds, but it wouldn't have hit like a Jey Uso. They wouldn't have even looked at Jey Uso for that.
True.
And then Paul Heyman, he wouldn't have been on that side either. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything just played out right for his like now.
Especially with the fact that like as Roman's getting so much better, Paul just has to go into his CM Punk days. He's just hoisting the title up.
That's it. So let him talk. Let him do his thing. Roman's getting so comfortable. It's getting too easy. Like facial expressions. He's just like, yeah, he believes everything he says. Yeah.
His timing.
But yeah. Would you want to see those two go up against each other? You know how like the Drew and Roman. Everybody was like, yo, that's Bobby versus Roman. I'm not sure yet. I'm like, I don't know. Nah. I'm not sure if that's like a dream. Like, it's not a dream match yet. Like, they're just like on two different roads.
Not until you turn Bobby face, and then he's gonna have to be a good face.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily like.
No, I don't want Bobby to be.
He's more believable now as a heel.
Yeah, I don't want him as a face. Where he's all nice, like nice to people. Yeah. No. But yeah. What else has been on wrestling? There's not much. Shaquille O'Neal. We just watched the whole Shaq on AEW. He actually did a power bomb and went through a table himself. So he gave his body up for the business. He said, I'll do it for the business. And they didn't replace Cody with Big Show or Paul White. Sorry. Did you see Paul White's new shirt? No more BS. They see what they did there. No more BS. That's his new shirt that they have selling on Pro Wrestling Tees.
So is there a story? Is there a backstage story? Like, because there's no going back, right?
I guess there's no, like, the whole backstory that I've heard was from the last appearance that he was there. He was just like mad. He was like, yo, like, Vince, you're not paying me right. Like, I need a better pay. Like after like his show on Netflix got canceled, you know what I mean? Like, money slowed up. So I think I heard he either like lost his house through all this shit. So he was looking for like, oh, well, like, listen, like, I need a better contract. Vince was like, no, I'm not paying you more than I pay you. So he's like, fuck it, I'm not re-signing then. Then Tony Khan is like, billionaire rich boy, like, here you go. Take it. Like, why do I care? So he's over there. But now he is also teasing that because they have a pay-per-view this weekend. Might be Saturday, might be Sunday, I forget. But at this pay-per-view, he's teasing that they will reveal a new signee to AEW who is Hall of Fame worthy. not in the Hall of Fame, but Hall of Fame worthy, who has just been signed to AEW and he's going to appear at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So people are teasing, or people are speculating, Christian, but Wrestling Inc. confirmed that Christian is signed to WWE. RVD. Who else? They said Batista.
RVD's not
Batista. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. No. They said Batista, but Batista like tweeted like, "Yo, I'm freaking retired." He's like, "We need a new name for wrestlers that are actually retired because it's like you guys don't believe me when I say I'm retired." So who else?
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, wrestling has made us fickle fans for years because people who say they're leaving leave and then come back a year later for a good paycheck and storyline.
Yeah. What? So somebody's coming. Do I know? No. Well, no, this Saturday. Yeah. I I don't know. I'm just getting like TNA. I'm getting WCW and TNA vibes off of this. Like,
yeah.
I don't see no point in mostly anything they do or the people they sign. And the joke was they always said, we're not going to be here signing all the old WWF, WWE people. Like, we're not going to be making those mistakes again. Like, so if you're WWE, don't just look over here thinking you're going to get a contract. Bro, you're giving a contract to whoever you want, who you want. And that whole thing where people are like, but they can help the younger guys or they can become producers in the back and blah, blah, blah. I say, listen, we already have examples that Tully is back there, Arn is back there, Jake is supposed to be back there, Jim Ross is back there, and the show is still what the show is. Chris Jericho is back there and on TV. And if Chris Jericho is like the example we need, he tells us exactly what they do back there. Nothing. They just talk to each other like, yo, the big ass paycheck, eh? Hell yeah. Don't say nothing. Don't fuck this up for us.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not interested anymore.
At all.
I was the only thing I was interested was with the Big Show because it's like if there's no going back, I wanted to know like how bad that disagreement is with Vince.
Yeah, it was just money. Just Vince like, no, I'm not paying you that shit. You want to get paid this? I don't want. Like, what's his name? Just did a whole thing. Chris Jericho was doing an interview and he was talking about how WWE treats their legends badly, especially the last two signees that AEW got, as in Paul White and Sting. Like how he embarrasses the legends and he does all this stuff. He's just going in saying WWE, they don't treat them right. But you come to AEW, he sounds like Suge Knight. If you don't want promotion fucking up your character, you want him just telling you what to say and what to do. You just want to be able to do whatever you want. Come over here at AEW. Come sign over here. Like, that's pretty much what Chris Jericho is doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't get over this exploding barbed wire death match. It's funny that I have to think not to forget any words. I can't just say, "Oh, this death match," or "this barbed wire death match," or "this barbed wire match." It has to be exploding barbed wire death match.
Listen. They just murdered a man on WWE pay-per-view.
Who?
Murdered him. Burned him alive.
Oh yeah. No, they burned a supernatural being.
Look,
it's not just a man.
Somebody got sent up. if I'm AEW, I'm like, all right, I'm going ridiculous.
Though they went super ridiculous from the very beginning. Like, that's what I find funny. Like, AEW is like, oh, we're gonna do everything not like WWE, but you guys are pretty much like WWE babies. Like, you guys are birthed off of WWE programming. It's the only wrestling you know. So everything you're doing is what you thought was the best parts of wrestling back then. But you were never into, like, think about it. Attitude Era was more about the drama than it was the wrestling. You know what I mean? The wrestling, it helped, but the wrestling helped us know it was still a wrestling show. But the drama and all this shit, it controlled everything. Like, nobody talks about, like, yo, you remember that the match and Austin's wicked what's it called? Wicked stunner when he hit this person? No, they talk about the freaking. Remember when he brought out the beer truck? And he went up Vince and he went up this and he went up, like, you know what I mean? It just, that stuff is bigger. And that's the stuff that AEW is like, that's what we want to do. So as much as they want to be serious, they're like, at the same time, we want to be tongue-in-cheek. We want to be funny too. We want to do this. Actually, AEW are Triple H babies. Triple H and Shawn Michael babies. DX is what created them. Everything DX was about is the fun in games and trying to be funny, and you know what I mean? Like, remember DX walking down the hallway, Shawn just super kicking everybody walking by. Why is he doing it? He doesn't know. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what birthed AEW. Like, that DX shit is what birthed AEW. And pretty much the whole independent scene, because that's what they follow, right? Or we'll not say the whole independent scene, but the Young Buck independent scene. The elite
spot
scene.
for spot's sake shit.
But
it just
that's
goes
the thing.
nowhere.
Like, it's like, actually, I don't know if this is a good comparison or not, but Shawn Michaels is like Lil Wayne. It's like they had all that extra shit about them, like that people are like, oh, that made them really popular. But at the same time, people didn't realize that they still had a respect for their craft. So they did all the other shit that's all dramatic. So all the new people stick to the shit that's out there. Like, oh, Wayne's like this. Wayne dresses however he wants to. He says whatever he wants to. He sings. He did. But you forget that these two people are still like, no, like, but it's about the craft. Like, I make sure that I can rap good. I make sure I can wrestle good. Like, when I get out here, I'm still trying to take everybody's neck off. Like, I'm still trying to outperform everybody. But at the same time, because he has the lollipop song, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh, Wayne just wants to be. It's not. He still has the respect, but this next generation doesn't feel that respect. And that's where Jim Cornette comes in. It's like, that's where the argument comes. That's where he would be like, I don't like Shawn Michaels, but like, I'm not gonna talk like
he's the best performer. He always says it. He always says it. He's the best performer ever.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that they don't grasp onto. They're like, oh, if we do this, if we over exaggerate this, if we do this, then we'll be cool and funny. He was cool. He was allowed to be cool and funny because he knew when to do it.
He knew his shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what they don't know. Like,
it's like, you know, listening to like, it's like listening to like a jazz piano player or whatever, and they're riffing and they go out of key and they come back.
Yeah.
They know how to go out of key and come back. There's people who accidentally, because they don't know, are making the wrong notes. These guys can go in and out and make it all make sense.
Yeah. That's AEW is just, it's like how they say cosplay. Like, I see so many people bigging it up, like, and I'm just like, you're just happy to have something. You're just happy to have something. That's all it is. It's all it is. It's like you're okay with settling. I'm like, I'm not okay with settling. I'm not settling for this. Like what was I watching?
Barely gave WWE a pass.
The same shit they don't give WWE a pass for. They go, it's okay. But I'm like, but last week when WWE did it, because usually that's how it happens. WWE does it first, and then they do it. Last week WWE did it. You tore it down. You ripped it apart like, oh my god, the worst thing on TV. How are people still tuning in? Blah blah blah. And then AEW does it the week after. You're like, it was all right. It wasn't my type of programming, but you know, there was probably somebody out there who liked it. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Why? But funniest part is they're all about diversity and all that stuff, right? AEW.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a Trump company. The Young Bucks are Trumpers. Obviously, their family are Trumpers. Jericho obviously is a Trumper. You know, Jericho's wife was in that whole crash the fucking White House shit. She was there. Jericho's wife.
Oh, for real?
Yep. Wow. Her family members of the Young Bucks were there. Like
the Young Bucks were there?
Oh, the family members of them were there too.
Oh.
Well, that's what I heard. Family members of theirs. But yeah, think about that. His wife was like so comfortable that she was like, yo, I'm about to go do this rush, bro. And he was like, cool, go ahead.
All right. Just be home by 8.
Yep. Bring me back something. You know what I mean? It's like, what? They're just chill about it. Like that whole, like the whole company are like Trumpers.
Yo, can you imagine when people left and that one spot everybody goes to and they're just sitting there eating food?
What do you mean, at the Rush?
No, I mean like, okay, like after a show, right?
Yeah.
Everybody leaves the show and then you'll see a bunch of people at one spot because everybody got to go get food.
Yeah.
I'm just saying after they rushed it, like imagine them leaving and ending up at like some diner or something, and they're there and they're talking about it and all that.
Everybody. And the cops just drive by like, oh, don't even get started about that shit. The FBI put out a tweet saying, if you guys recognize anybody in there, please let us know. FBI. I said, you guys, let's be serious. Let me go kick in the White House doors. Mm-hmm. You guys will find me in my house. Mm-hmm. They were like, we'll know you're in there. Cesare. My whole government. I'm not gonna put it out there. Cesare, we know you're in there. I know you're watching The Flash episode 15, and you're on 10 minutes and 52 seconds. You just hit pause. We know what you're doing. Like, that's FBI, and they're saying we can't. If you guys know anybody there, please let us know. If you recognize anybody, please let us know. But
yeah.
See, that's what AEW, talking about AEW, brings to foolishness. But yeah. So AEW is gonna have a pay-per-view soon. Will you be tuning in? It is, I believe, this Saturday. It is called Revolution.
To what?
Yes, it's called Revolution.
Let me tell you what I'll be tuning into. On Saturday.
What?
URL. Okay. On Cafu. That's what I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching some battles.
Let me give you the whole setup first. You know what I mean? Let me give you these verses. Maybe it'll change your mind. So in the buy-in, which is their pre-show,
I don't know why this would be an attempt.
The buy-in, the pre-show, Thunder Rosa tag in with Riho versus Britt Baker and Reba. Reba. Is that what's his name's girl? No, she just had a baby, didn't she? So she's not in there. I think I'm talking about Matt Hardy's girl or wife. I feel she just had a baby again, or she's pregnant. But okay, then you're gonna have Orange Cassidy. Okay. This is something you'd want to check. Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor versus Miro and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford. Boom. And then after that, Matt Hardy versus Hangman Page. And the winner receives the opponent's 2021 quarter one earnings. That's money. You don't know how many t-shirts they're gonna sell in that first quarter.
I want one of the big them Paul White shirts.
No more BS. Then there's going to be the Casino Tag Team Royale. So it's going to be Bear Country and Alex Reynolds versus the Tag Team Royale. I guess it's just.
Is that the same thing as
Battle Royale? No, it's a Battle Royale with tag teams. So I guess one of the tag teams have to stay in to win. So Bear Country with Alex Reynolds, John Silver with Evil Uno, Stu Grayson and Santana, Ortiz and the Butcher, the Blade, Private Party, Top Flight. What? Hold on, this shit is all over the place. Okay.
Yeah.
So Bear Country, Alex Reynolds with John Silver.
I don't even know what that is.
Evil Uno with Stu Grayson, which both those teams are Dark Order. Okay. Santana and Ortiz, Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Top Flight, and Pac and Ray Phoenix. The winner of this Tag Team Royale wins a future tag title match. All right.
So they didn't even tell you when. They just said down the road.
Just future. Down the road sometime. And then the next match is the Face of the Revolution ladder match. This is Cody Rhodes versus Penta L0M versus Scorpio Sky versus Lance Archer versus Bobby Lashley's sister Max Caster versus a to be announced. And the winner of that receives a future AEW TNT Championship match.
So I don't know why that's supposed to interest me.
All right.
It's a Money in the Bank match, right? Basically.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. But it's not a Money in the Bank. It's the Face of the Revolution. They're the Face of the Revolution. Like, come on. But if that does not entice you, let's go to the next match. The next match, which is the street fight. It is Sting tagging with AEW TNT champion Darby Allin. And they are going up against the FTW champion Brian Cage with Ricky Starks with Taz on the side. Street fight. Who do you think is going to win this street fight? And does Sting make it out alive? Does he make it out uninjured? And if he does get injured, how far in the match does he get injured?
I'm so tired of Sting returning.
Why?
Let's keep it real. Has Sting ever had a good comeback other than like his initial the Crow?
I don't know. People liked him in what's it called? TNA. So I guess that could be one time. TNA, I'd say.
Like, people like that. It's cringy at best. Like Like, yeah, he got a good pop when he came to AEW. Yes, but like, I don't want him wrestling. Like, nothing good comes of that.
No, that just sounds like greed. It's like I got to make some money. Like I guess it's like Big Show. Sometimes you got to sign those checks. You got to sign those checks to pay those bills. You know, it's sometimes how it goes. Not everybody Jim Cornette. All right. Well, I guess the street fight wasn't it for you. So let's go up to the next one. AEW World Tag Team Championship. Yes. Hold on. This is the World Tag Team Championship. And that's kind of funny you say that because usually like WWE's been doing about like 5 matches. They're like 5 and done. Like we're not doing these long shows anymore. But so the AEW Tag Team Championship, this is a big one. The Young Bucks. They're going up against
oh my lord,
Chris Jericho and MJF with Wardlow, members of the Inner Circle. I think they have a chance. They're going to take this belt from the Young Bucks.
I think there's a chance the Young Bucks are going to have backup. And this is going to devolve into an ugly spot fest of people just bodies.
Probably.
Just unnecessarily everywhere, just bodies. That's what I think is going to.
Okay. Next match, the AEW Women's World Championship.
Oh, you don't agree?
You might like. I'm saying you might like this match. You might like this one. This match, Hikaru Shida, the champion, versus Ryo, not Rio, Ryo. So they did the women's tournament where half of the tournament was in America and the other half was in Japan. So this is the one that won in Japan. Her name is Ryo Mizunami. I know you respect Japanese wrestling. I know you might watch this and be like, hey, it's not bad. But it might not be Japanese wrestling per se, a little more Joshi, you know. But what do I know? And if none of that satisfies your wrestling thirst, then this last match, I gotta say it one more time. This last match has to do it for you. This is for the AEW World Championship. Not sure the last time they've ever had this championship, like they've had a match for this championship where the rules were just normal wrestling rules. When there was a match where there was actual disqualifications, or a match where they actually can pin in the ring, I guess. But
where are you going with this?
I'm just saying they're not going to go that way either again. They're not going to have a regular match. They do not do this. And they've done a lot of stuff. They did no disqualifications, pins anywhere, weapons. They did everything. What else is there left for them to do? One thing. It is called an exploding barbed wire match. Listen, the ropes will be barbed wire. Around the ring,
bruh, I'm not entertaining this.
Listen, around the ring, there will be bombs. There will be landmines. If they step on something, they might lose a toe. They might lose a foot. They might lose a leg. You don't even know what they might lose in this match. Losing the belt might be the least of their problems.
I partially blame WWE for this with the Boneyard match, because that's what this is going to be.
You think they're going to do a cinematic match? Omega. You think there's going to be a cinematic match? You don't think they're going to do this in the ring? Now that you say that, so AEW has been pushing that this pay-per-view you'll be able to watch in the movie theater. So when I heard that, I assumed for sure, what's his name? Sting's match would be a cinematic match. But maybe they might go. It's AEW. What's stopping them from going all the way and having more than one cinematic match on a show, or maybe a whole show of cinematic matches, just for the people who are in movie theaters? So it's a couple, like what,
I guess
100, a couple hundreds, I guess, just for those people. Just make everything cinematic.
Can they
and
do
everybody
100?
else.
Can they do 100
I'm just talking about
now?
all together, possibly. You know what I mean? Like one theater in Boston and one theater, well, not in Boston, but in those like Texas and Florida, all the places open. There might be one theater in every town. Every theater might be able to hold 20 people. But a lot of those
I didn't think
towns
any
don't
theater
even
was
care
open.
for mass anymore. No. In the States, they don't play. They're not playing games. Like I I read that um, Ontario has the strictest restrictions in all of North America. The
I
strictest
believe it.
restrictions in all of North America. So yeah, everybody else is living life. We're sitting here shook. So it goes sometimes. So it goes. But yeah. So after I read you all that, how can you watch URL now? Like how? How?
Easy. Like that. That's me pushing the app button.
You don't know. You're missing the wrestling event.
Oh shit. I don't know what else to tell you, folks. Chester froze up. So I go sometimes. Shot Club Podcast, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. You never know when we going live. I don't know if we still going. Yeah, that's it, folks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where Chiz is at. But yeah, again, Chocolate Podcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. You never know when we're going live. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. We appreciate y'all. All right. We'll be back tomorrow with Marvel, the MCU, the Marvel Critique Union. We'll be talking about the finale of WandaVision because that's what's happening tomorrow. I'm going to get some rest because I get up at 3 and I watch it and then I go back to bed. So I gotta get some sleep. Y'all been lovely. Take it easy. Peace.